the video.
Says we are.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, and
Yeah,
there we go.
Hey, I can see now.
Yay!
Because I can see what's going on, I know when to say
Yes. The gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, the gravity pulls you straight.
Seems to be a very small delay on YouTube tonight.
J.E. Pants.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, the gravity pulls you straight down.
There's India.
Clear sky.
Hi, Purple. We're back.
All those people jumping around there. Take your seats, people. Down in front.
Jump up.
Well, howdy, y'all, and welcome back. We are here, and we're live, and I think we're about ready to go. I hope.
Drink.
No drink. Okay, Jenny, Jenny can drink.
Well, she had to beat tornado, so.
That's true. Okay. Well, I'll let you have that one, Jenny. Well, howdy, everybody, and it's great to see you all here again tonight. And we have a lovely group of people with us for tonight's panel. We have
Lovely bunch of coconuts.
we have that too. We have Mom NATO with us tonight.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Doing all right, Mom NATO. How are you doing?
Hey.
I'm here.
Here is good. Here is better than
Tonight
not
is
here.
a I'm here and tired night.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we're glad that you are here with us.
Mhm.
And we also have Tornado with us.
Yep, and once again, I am powered by Mountain Dew. Hashtag Pepsi, please sponsor us.
Well, we're
Well,
glad to
they
have you
can
here with us,
sponsor
Tornado. Yeah, right?
Movie night is powered by Standard Mountain Dew, so yes, hashtag Pepsi, please sponsor us. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag we wish.
No,
I don't like Mountain Dew.
You wish.
Yeah.
You wish.
I hate
I
Mountain
want-
Dew.
You can be sponsored by Pepsi and Mountain Dew all you want, okay?
Oh, speaking of which, I sent an email to a scammer who was purporting to be the Coca-Cola company, and I asked them to send me $500,000 worth of Pepsi products.
There you go. Well, we're glad to have you here with us, Tornado. And we also have tonight Chris Kelling.
Hey, yeah, and I've been known to go into Burger King and order a Big Mac, so yeah.
Wait, really?
Yes. And
What's
I-
their response to that one?
Usually just a abject silence and then screaming in terror.
Oh, although Burger King is legally allowed to say they can sell Big Macs in Europe.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
I don't care. No, I usually I've done it on accident a couple times, and but ever since my my heart attack, I've been avoiding drive-throughs. So
Gotcha. Probably the safer bet. I
Yeah.
mean, just in general anyway, but...
That's what delivery's for.
Well, we're glad you're here with us tonight, Chris. And we also have with us tonight Purple. What's going on, Purple?
Yeah, not too much. Same old.
Well, I'm glad you're here with us too. How are you feeling? I know you weren't feeling so hot the last couple of nights or days or.
Yeah, I've got some kind of a virus. The COVID came back negative, so it's
Wow.
nothing serious. It's just annoying
Yeah.
sinus thing that's probably going to hold on for a couple of weeks, and my voice
Right.
comes and goes.
Been there, done that.
That always sucks. It's almost worse than being like super sick because it's just like that annoying sick.
Yeah, you get that annoying sore throat and the sinus
Yeah,
drainage.
one of them
and
things that just won't go away. Well, I'm glad you're here
Yeah.
with us tonight, and we hope you feel better soon. But definitely glad it's not that other virus.
Yeah, thanks. I'll try to make sure I mute so that you don't hear me hacking.
Well, you do what you need to do. That's all right.
Yes, shit.
We also have with us this evening Jenny Morgan.
Good evening, everyone. How are you tonight?
Doing good, Jenny. How about you?
I am fine. I am reading my teleprompter and can know what I'm supposed to say.
Woohoo!
Now?
We have to move away
I
from
think that's
from
now.
the cards. We need to get like an actual teleprompter for you. Sometimes turning the cards can be a little slow.
Just a bit.
Well, that is true, but I can't say because it's not on the cards.
Well, we're very glad to have you with us tonight, Jenny. And
I'm glad to be here.
and I think we have a decent sized wheel for you guys tonight. So let's bring up our wheel and see what we got going on. All right. We got pretty colors. I almost ran out of colors, so, there's that.
Ooh, colors are infinite. You can't possibly run out of colors.
They're so I didn't want to get ones that were too similar. As it is, I've already got the blue and the purple there.
And the lavender.
Yeah, so I was trying to get a little bit different, but it is what it is.
Maybe put a chartreuse in there. and we'll
You
be
know
good.
what? You can put your chartreuse somewhere else, Chris. So we have a lovely wheel. And let's take a look and see what our wheel says. Our wheel says, starting with the light blue, it says creepy, and then it says stratification, web, W-E-B-B, levitation, dinos, ingenuine, and triangle.
As opposed to square, which is what most flat earthers are.
Yeah. Let's see
Is
what our
web
video-
another reference to the space spiders?
No, it isn't. Thank goodness. We have zero Gina Marie Calvin Hill on the wheel tonight.
Yay!
So I will say our videos tonight are 10 creepy cryptid sightings caught on film by Slapped Ham.
Bullshit.
10 dinosaurs caught on camera in real life from Fact File. We have experiments in stratification, and I forget who that's by because I didn't write it down.
Kent Hovind.
No.
I have no idea, but I did that one I forgot to write down for some reason, but it's okay. We also have Flat Earth, the James Webb Space Telescope exposes itself, and that's a Leo video.
Well, what else? How else would it get photographs?
We also have NASA Mars helicopter, Ingenuity or Ingenuine, and that's Jake the asshole.
Oh, yes, he certainly is.
Yes.
Oh, wait, is he seriously doing that stupid everything in space is a hoax thing again? I thought he got over that.
Oh,
Oh,
gosh,
gosh,
you
no.
should see the one he just came out with. He's got this thing where he says everything negative you can possibly imagine about Cyman Dan
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the Blue Origin
That
tapes
was-
from their few moments up in space, and how it's completely bogus and
Yeah.
of course
Yeah.
provides no proof, and
Right.
it's
So
because it
he's
says so.
basically doing his usual shtick of, oh, it's all fake, but I'm not going to tell you how I know it's all fake. You just have to trust me.
Isn't that the standard
Yep.
flat Earth shtick?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, no, he's saying because of the cuts,
Right.
you can
Yeah.
see where they cut the footage, so it's all done through the vomit comet.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But
But
they
the
don't believe in the vomit comet.
oh, they perfectly they do. They say that's how they get the weightlessness.
They say that's how they fake all the weightlessness.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm waiting
Anyway.
for them to say something about the current SpaceX one going on right now, that with their extended height above the space station, these people are able to see edge to edge of the Earth, not the whole hemisphere because they're still too low to see the whole half of the Earth. But they can look out their observation window and see around Earth all the way around them and the curve, and
Mhm.
it's actually quite
Fake,
beautiful.
fake,
Okay.
CGI.
Anyway.
Can we
on.
wait on the debunking until after the wheel spins?
I know, we haven't
Yeah.
even gotten that far yet. Anyway, we also have survived pilot told what he experienced in the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh shit.
And then lastly, we have this is real levitation and telekinesis.
Mm.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
like a good one.
Yeah, so I mean, we've definitely
Okay.
got a diverse wheel. So if you guys would like to spin it, we can have our incantation.
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it. Oh no.
Stratification. All right.
Kent Hovind.
Kent the dope.
This is really Kent Hovind?
I have no idea.
No, it's not. I don't remember
Whoa!
doing.
All right, bear with me one moment. I'll get
Hey,
that
you know what
video
you can,
brought
You
up.
know what you can do, Tornado? If you want a Ken Hovind video in there, go and search one that would you feel would be make a good movie night.
Yep.
and
Ooh, how
submit
about we do all of his lies in the textbook seminar?
it. Something that
Hovin's
is going to
stuff is
take
too long for a
all
movie
night
night.
to debunk.
Yeah.
You know?
I could
Short
just
one.
debunk the whole thing and you could just skip ahead.
All right, just bear with me
He's
one
a
minute.
liar. Liar. Carol Kane. I love her.
Yeah.
God, I love her too.
I mean that whole Miracle Max scene is
Yep.
brilliant. I think. I mean, I love that movie.
Mhm.
But I think that is probably one of the best scenes
In the whole movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
When Carol screams
Miracle
liar?
Max. Yes, Miracle Max.
Yeah, well, no, more just the entire the entire time Billy Crystal's on the screen
Yes.
is just the whole thing from the you're on the you are the Brute Squad and he's mostly dead, that type of thing. So
To
Okay.
play.
Forgive
Yes.
me if I sound like I'm going to commit a sin here, but who the absolute flying hell is Billy Crystal?
Oh, he's Miracle Max.
Billy Crystal is one of the
Oh,
finest
comedians out
completely
there.
most underrated actors on the planet. He is outrageously funny.
Oh, God, yes.
Well,
Depth
that
and
explains why
ability.
I've never heard of him.
His depth
Well-
and ability to take on characters from so many different walks of life is
Mhm.
impressive as hell. And
yeah,
he's
I
been a
was-
ride ever since his first appearance on Soap back
so
in the
Yes.
I was going to say,
80s.
Tornado, do yourself a favor, look up episodes of Soap, SOAP.
Yep.
It is.
No, Soap is way over.
Is Soap
Tomatoes
just
and
soap
Crystals.
operas?
No.
That was Billy Crystal's premiere. Was his role on that show.
Well, I think we're all set. If you guys are ready to get started,
Okay.
alrighty. Here
Let's
we
go.
go. It provides
And
startling
debunks him.
evidence.
For young Earth. Mm.
relatively simple experiments, so I had to question everything that's been taught. Oh dear, please.
Way to wake people up.
Yeah.
Stratification.
Ooh, nice movie soundtrack.
Okay, it would help if he actually didn't put his title across his jacket.
Yeah.
Always having been intrigued by historical geology, with its eras of hundreds of millions of years, I was interested to know to what extent it could be and has been tested by experiment. It was for this reason that some years ago I renewed my studies on the subject, and in particular on the application of the principles of stratigraphy to obtain a relative chronology from superposition of strata.
Drink.
Yes, Mom NATO?
I would like to know his qualifications, what his studies, and if he has a degree, or if he's just an amateur making shit up.
Oh,
Well,
you mean
he does
like
have a British accent.
Oh, wait. Mom, what you just described is the perfect reason to say, is this guy a Kent Hovind?
It does. I mean, unless he is an actual
Unless he studied at an accredited institution.
has a doctorate in geology, he knows absolutely what the basic average person would know. He doesn't have the qualifications to make whatever assumptions he's going to make.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And they are just that, assumptions.
Well, we don't know. We haven't. He might be about to do some experiments here that are going to convince all of us that he's right. So
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
you never know.
And if we limited things to people who were qualified about what they're speaking on, YouTube would get about 10 uploads a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Very
This
true.
is true.
They'd still be able to make money, though. That's a lot of uploads a day.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Let's see. I'm just pulling up the chat. There we go. All right. We got everything good, I think, here. All right. Well, what do you think? Should we continue on then?
Oh, sure.
Please.
I started in the 1970s by reading reports from the Geological Society of America on the underwater drilling campaigns of the American ship Glomar Challenger. It was from these reports that I learned about the works of the German geologist Johannes Walter, one of the principal founders of sedimentology. Before going further, let's explain some of the terms involved. Stratification is the general term for layering in rocks. A stratum is a single layer of homogeneous or gradational lithology deposited parallel to the original dip of the formation. It is separated from adjacent strata or cross-strata by surfaces of erosion, non-deposition, or abrupt change in character.
Drink.
The term stratum
Yes, Jenny?
That's not always accurate. Sometimes the stratum are almost indistinguishable between each other. At least the seam of them are, except for maybe coloration and possibly texture. But there's not necessarily a gap between any two stratum anywhere. Period.
Interesting. Thank
Is
you.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then. Moving on.
includes bed and lamination, which carry definite thickness connotations. Strata vary in thickness from less than a millimeter for microstrata or laminae to more than a meter. A stratum often shows evidence of sorting of the particles of which it is composed, with the size decreasing from bottom to top of the stratum.
Drink.
The large particles at the bottom.
Yes, Tornado?
I doubt that. What he's proposing is hydrological sorting. And, that... The thing is, you can have bigger boulders on top of other smaller things. It's very possible. You could also have a layer of iridium dust on top of solid rock, which, oh gee, happens to go all the way around the world thanks to a certain impact. And you can date this stuff to be 65 or 66 million years old. And yes, radiometric dating works, and all you young Earth creationists can shove it.
So, Tornado, just out of curiosity, does this sorting work faster or slower than a bubble sort?
Huh?
Yeah, huh?
Bubble sort, the sorting algorithm for.
Yeah, it's computer programmer stuff.
Yeah, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't done some programming, you won't get it.
All right. Well, then let us continue on, shall we?
Grade up to the small ones at the top. The limit surfaces are separations between the fine particles at the top of one strata and the large ones at the bottom of the strata which covers it. Bedding planes which can separate two strata, and those caused by erosion of sediments. A facies is a series of superposed strata having the same lithological content. For instance, a series of strata all composed of sandstone, or all of clay, or all of limestone, are called a facies. This cliff face has been divided into facies. The sandstone deposit is colored yellow, the clay deposit blue, and the limestone orange. Each deposit is subdivided into strata. For 2 centuries since stratigraphy was founded, and without formal proof, strata superposed or sitting one on top of the other, and on a larger scale superposed facies, have been considered as successive layers or isochronously deposited sediment. That is to say that the lower...
Did he just say without proof?
No, he's correct.
No, he flat out said without proof.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that part.
You said without proof they've been assumed and whatnot. Here's the thing. We can actually test this, and there's this thing called radiometric dating, which confirms the whole strata thing. Sorry, but you're just wrong.
Yeah, that.
But then again, I'm not a geologist, so that's not my forte.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't have RJ for this one.
Yeah, or Steve Bauman.
Hey, Steve Bauman, get in here.
Let me see. Just bear with me one moment. Okay.
What you doing?
Getting all my chat back up here. My windows were all askewed. Okay. Here we go. Nope. Okay, now here we go.
The one formed first, and then the one above it formed second, and so on. The principles of stratigraphy arose from this belief of strata and facies being successive layers. The term principle, as referred to in stratigraphy, is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as a general or inclusive law exemplified in numerous cases. It was in 1669 that Nicholas Steno, a naturalist from Tuscany, defined the principles of stratigraphy in his book entitled Prodromus. These include the principle of superposition, where in a sequence of strata any stratum is younger than the sequence of strata on which it rests, and is older than the strata that rest upon it. At the time when any given stratum was being formed, all the matter resting upon it was fluid, and therefore at the time when the lower stratum was being formed, none of the upper strata existed. Steno, 1669. The principle of initial horizontality says that strata are deposited horizontally and then deformed to various attitudes later. Strata either perpendicular to the horizon or inclined to the horizon were at one time parallel to the horizon. Steno, 1669. The principle of strata continuity says that strata can be assumed to have continued laterally far from where they presently end. Material forming any stratum were continuous over the surface of the earth unless some other solid bodies stood in the way. Steno, 1669. These three principles of stratigraphy provided the basis upon which geologists at the end of the 18th century and the beginning of the 19th established the geological column. They assumed that sediments had deposited horizontally around the world and that the rate of deposition was the same everywhere for each layer. Furthermore, since the days
Drink.
of geologists...
Drink.
Yes, Purple?
The rate of deposition was the same for every layer. No, you will not have any geologist say that. Different layers are different thicknesses, often because they were deposited at different rates.
That makes sense.
On top of that, you'll find some layers that have relatively little presence in an area, and other layers with a larger presence in an area, because the depositional environment varied. So, no, what you just said is incorrect.
Are you surprised?
This is a young Earth creationist we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And has he never heard of radiometric dating? Oh, wait, he's a young Earth creationist. Radiometric dating doesn't work.
Yeah. Pretty much. Well, let us continue on then and see what else he's got.
James Hutton and Charles Lyell, it was assumed that the rate of erosion and sedimentation in the past...
Yes, Chris?
Oh, we got naked in the chat.
Ah, indeed.
Hey, Sean Hawkins.
Alright.
That's all.
Okay. Then we shall continue on.
was the same as today. In consequence, the age of a stratum was estimated from present-day rates of sediment deposition and from the depth of the stratum in the hypothetical column of sedimentary rock.
Drink.
Hypothetical because all the assumed state...
Yes, Tornado?
No! That's not how those ages were determined. They were determined through radiometric dating. You know, that thing that provides absolute ages. Idiot!
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, let us continue on then.
Ages of the column are never found together in any one geological formation. The method used to date the sedimentary rocks from the Cambrian period to the present was, therefore, based upon the principle of superposition. By applying the principle of continuity, the same age could be given to outcrops of what were assumed to be the same facies, whether in South America, South Africa, or Australia. Later, the fossil content of sedimentary formations in different sites was used to show a correspondence of age between the fossils of one site and those of another. This gave rise to a fourth principle of stratigraphy, the principle of paleontological identity. This principle states that two strata with the same paleontological content are the same age. This means that if the fossils in a layer in, say, the Himalayas are the same as those in a layer in the Appalachians, they could be considered as having the same age. As a preliminary to my experiments, I examined the existing data. At the end of the last century, Johannes Walter studied the formation of contemporaneous sedimentary deposits which prograded or developed from the coast towards the open sea. By drilling into the sediments, he observed the same succession of facies from the surface downwards as from the coast towards the sea. A law was formulated of Walter's observations that facies superposed in a deposit area would also be seen to lay side by side. He examined the sediments in the Bay of Naples. By boring vertically downwards through the sediments in the bay, he saw that the facies that lay on top of each other were in the same sequence as those that were lying next to each other horizontally. The sequence of facies that could be seen lying side by side as he went from the coast out to the sea was the same as the sequence of facies that lay on top of each other in a downward direction. He realized that the belief that the facies at the bottom was older than the one on top was wrong. Quite obviously, all the facies...
Yes, Tornado.
Citation needed.
Well,
No, let me correct that. Citation fucking needed.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yes,
If
Mom
this
Nate.
guy told me the sky was blue, I'd check for myself.
Okay, the issue with his horizontal crap is that what he's describing is a form of erosion to create these flattened out horizontals, because even in the water, underneath the water, there is erosion from waves and stuff and motion of the water. So
Literally the motion
horizontal,
of the ocean.
right, the horizontal layers that he's talking about are actually just caused from erosion of and waves. So it's not really a horizontal layer. It's that the surfaces have been worn away by the motion of the waves, so it's creating the horizontal. It's not truly a horizontal layer.
Aha.
I did a geology class, and this is one of the things they talked about, is in the water you can't have a true you can't do a true horizontal layer because of erosion. And you can tell just by the picture that he's showing. You can see, being that this is the ocean, the motion of the waves. They erode. That's how you get a drop off in the ocean, through erosion in a bay. You'll have the waves coming in. They erode the upper surfaces until it creates that sloped drop off.
Aha. Well,
So
what I want to know is it like onions? Because onions are like ogres, and they all have layers.
right, but another thing you also have to keep in mind that the time he's saying, this law is from a century ago. Well, laws they can change because of the fact that the knowledge they had 100 years ago is very outdated on certain things because of advancements that we have had in science and technology.
Correct.
So,
And I will get to you in 1 second, Chris. I do just want to say hello to Hillel. Hello, Hillel.
Oh, you're too kind to me.
You can't
Hi,
see
hello.
it.
Yeah, I was just thinking we need to have him in here, but I guess my powers of summoning have increased. I don't know.
You,
Yeah, I
you
just-
willed
he's
him.
a mind reader.
Yeah.
Just fashionably late as always.
I mean, that's fine. That's the use. And Chris, you had your hand up.
All I've gathered so far is that there are layers and possibly
Onions
water.
Ogres.
Ogres and onions.
And ogres. Of course, ogres too.
Yeah, no, I just
Damn it.
wanted, I
Now
just
want
wanted to know,
frappuccinos and onions.
I just wanted to know how someone could have something being described underwater being so frickin' dry.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
He is.
I mean, as Cajun Crustacean and I were saying, yeah, I was, I'm half expecting, the film to start skipping and the soundtrack get all warbly and stuff like that.
Well, he's also misrepresenting the facts. I mean,
Yeah.
he clearly has no understanding of some of what he's talking about. He understands some of it, but he's leaving out a great deal of information and creating assumptions again, as we said earlier, which of course makes an ass out of you and me, as they say. And
he's doing it in the most dry and boring
Yeah.
way,
Right.
even more
Well, the
so
reason-
to the point where the British stiff upper lip is
Pendentism.
going, say what?
Yeah. Well, anybody with a brain can look at that picture that is on there and say, wait a second, isn't that face just eroding because of water?
Right.
I mean, you see it all the time when they do tsunami videos where they show how a tsunami would affect land. That is essentially the same thing, and you can see when they do that how their water plows into the little edge of the cliff and just tears the surface up and sends it back into their ocean, quote unquote.
Right.
So if it
Video.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. We're 10 minutes in, and so we're about a third of the way through it.
Oh
Let's-
crap!
yeah, let's skip forward on or just let it go, because clearly we have already proven that
Yeah.
he is wrong, and he
Yeah,
doesn't
can we
know
get
what
a
he's talking
gong
about.
just because this guy's voice is putting me
Yes.
to sleep?
Um,
Gong, 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 gong.
Yes, if you would all like, we can.
Yes.
Gong the video.
Yes.
Gong the video. Raise your
Alright.
hands.
I don't have a gong sound effect, so my apologies.
Well, I'm raising my
Gong.
hand to gong the video.
All right,
Wait,
there
cheese
you go.
Mondo up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'll
really.
have to download one. Let's see.
And there's the majority rule.
Was that a gong? Or was that a...
That's about as close as you're getting to a gong right now.
Okay.
I could bring-
Fine.
I
On
could
short
do-
notice. All right. Let me see here. Bear with me one moment. We'll get our wheel brought back up. Ta-da! Oh wait, I gotta take off the other one. Hold on.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, we don't want that one back
rather-
again.
I'd rather listen to Claudia.
I know, right?
I got
Ooh,
it.
That's
Here we go.
dangerous.
Is that better?
Much
Oh,
better.
Claudia was at least entertaining,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Alright.
sounds like a spoon being jiggled in a glass.
No, it's a bell. It's just not a very good bell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
All right. Well, then, shall we spin the wheel again?
Right. Wheel of misfortune. Turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it.
Again.
Why is it so long?
Click.
Triangle.
Okay, so when we spin the wheel, does each one of us have to make a completely different noise for it?
Yes. Yes, absolutely yes. All right. We have triangle. So let's get
Officer Krupke, you're really a triangle.
Let's see. We gotta bring our triangle video up, and let's delete our stratification one. All right.
It's a hoax. Math isn't real.
This better not be trigonometry. I'm not very good at that
No,
stuff.
it's not.
No,
It's
no.
not. It's the Bermuda Triangle, and the first, I would say maybe the first 3 to 5 minutes is them setting up the mysteriousness of the triangle.
Wait,
Okay.
wait.
Um,
Ginger.
drink.
Yes.
There's nothing mysterious about the Bermuda Triangle. It's just a bunch of fantasy bullshit. Let's pick a different video. That one's
Well,
done.
that's why I submitted it, because it's woo.
Yeah.
It's general woo. That's why I submitted it originally.
Yes. Well,
It's
we'll give it a
last
shot. We'll
two.
see how far we get. See how we do.
Also,
Alright.
Jinju, did that actually happen?
Huh?
Right.
No, sincerest apologies to the bass clarinet player. Validation play was caught using your instrument as a fleshlight, and it had to be burned.
All right.
Oh, I played the contrabass clarinet.
Let's get started, shall we?
I just need to say I think General Wu would be a fantastic name for a cartoon villain.
General Wu.
He would spread misinformation all around.
Yeah. Oh dear. All
Yeah,
right.
but how would General Sue's what was that the
Chicken?
Chinese dish? I forget. Yeah,
General
chicken.
General
Tso's
Tso.
Chicken.
General Tao, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. Tao.
All right.
Never mind.
Let's get started.
That's his backstory. General Wu was upset because he's the only Chinese general to never have a chicken dish named after him.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, here we go.
His name shall henceforth be known as General
Is
Chicken
there a
Shit.
place on Earth with more myths than the Bermuda Triangle? The most
Drink.
mysterious
No.
part of the ocean from where many
haven't even
don't
gotten that
return.
far.
It's a zone of anomalies, a hideout
Drink.
for aliens, various military experiments, a portal to another dimension. There are many different stories about the Bermuda Triangle, and most of them are very far from reality. But sometimes, in the Triangle Zone, something happens that even causes skeptics to fall silent. Because it's hard to argue with a living witness. But is it possible to believe their words? To finally understand the secrets of the Bermuda Triangle, I decided to conduct my own research. First, I want to briefly remind you what this abnormal zone is. The Bermuda Triangle is the name for the area in the Sargasso Sea, which can be outlined right with a triangle. At one corner is Miami, another the islands of Bermuda, and the third point is San Juan, Puerto Rico. However, though
Which is
some
the
people like to
triangles
stretch
come up
the
to.
dangerous area in different directions, I'll stick to the generally accepted version. The surroundings of the Bermuda Triangle are constantly traveled. Various ships cross here, from cargo ships to cruise ships and pleasure boats, and airplanes constantly cross the sky over this triangle. But the bad reputation never fades. It all started with Flight 19. On December 5th, 1945, 5 American aircraft were on a training flight in the Bermuda Triangle area when they suddenly disappeared. All 14 pilots, as well as the 13 crew members of the aircraft that performed the search for the missing planes. And so far, no one has been able to determine the exact cause of what happened. So, the legend was born. A danger zone with an area of 1.3 million square kilometers, or roughly 500,000 square miles, which is also sometimes called the Devil's Triangle. After this incident, the number of references to the anomalous area began to grow. People remembered that sometimes some really strange things happened there. This mystery can even be traced back to the time of Christopher Columbus. Fans of mysticism claim that the famous explorer passing through this zone saw an incomprehensible object flying away into the sky, accompanied by a strange glow. Columbus also noticed that his compass behaved very strangely in this area. Does this mean that paranormal activity began in the Bermuda Triangle a very long time ago? If you believe the first story regarding unusual disappearances, then everything is much more serious than some may at first believe. One cargo ship and 3 aircraft, along with all passengers and crew, were lost in the Bermuda Triangle just during the period from 1945 to 1950. And this is not counting the case of Flight 19.
Yes, Jenny.
If these craft, whether it's ocean going vessel or an airplane, were to stop going and annoying them at their alien base where they're located, they wouldn't be disappearing. They should just leave the aliens alone and everything will be fine.
I mean, that sounds pretty legit.
I have something to add, though.
Yes, Tornado.
That Christopher Columbus never kept a written record of this, so we have no idea. We have no idea whether he was high, or if someone is just lying about what Christie saw. So, picture it didn't happen.
I like in the live chat, Darren Marsh says Columbus had a terrible camera though, so it all looked a little blurry. Yes, Purple.
Yeah, he does have a valid point about Columbus. You know, even for the lack of records and everything, because when Columbus's ships returned, they had no planes left on deck.
Wasn't that the final countdown?
Oh my goodness.
Wait a minute.
Oh dear. All right. Well, Purple, you still had your hand up. Anything else you wanted to add?
No, that was all.
All right. Well, let us continue on then.
In fact, there are many such examples. Incidents in the Bermuda Triangle even have their own Wikipedia page. The influence of the triangle even extends onto land. In 1969, two small lighthouses on the tiny island of Great Isaac Cay completely disappeared. Neither they nor the bodies of those involved were ever found. True.
Yes, Tornado.
Citation needed.
Yeah, seriously.
You don't just lose a lighthouse.
Well,
There's
you know,
all kinds of it.
they have their own Wikipedia. It must be true.
Well, I mean, David Copperfield could have been practicing, for making the Statue of Liberty disappear. So
That's true. We also had Hillel with the hand up.
I'm basing this off of, there was a different record, I forget exactly where, it'll come to me, but apparently the Columbus thing with the compass did not even happen in the Bermuda Triangle. It was literally in the middle of the ocean, just, out in the Atlantic, just because, and then apparently people just thought like, oh, compass, weird thing happening? Huh, I guess that must have happened in that triangle business.
Yeah.
the Kraken was swimming underneath it.
Mom is gonging the video.
No, I'm not. I'm fixing my bell.
Also, in all likelihood, the compass was probably just a result of, if you travel around there, there's a magnetic declination. Like your compass doesn't always point directly due north, depending on where you are. So, if it didn't need happen, it might have just been that. So.
Yeah, they have charted magnetic anomalies in the area.
Yes.
Well, look at that. A scientific explanation.
Well, just a quick, a quick Google search, and first thing I come up with is a Wikipedia page, of course. So, super reliable. But
Right.
it does say that the around that time that the keepers of the lighthouse went missing, there was a hurricane that passed close by. And,
Well, gee.
Shocker.
That's probably just a coincidence.
Right.
They probably got stupid and weren't paying attention to the weather and got sucked out.
I mean, clearly it would have nothing to do with that, but
Nothing to do with the hurricane at all. Mm-mm.
Oh dear. Well.
And the planes crashed within the Everglades or the whatever that is for it swamp where they couldn't be recovered.
Yes, the Everglades, correct.
Well, let's see what else we got here in this lovely, informative video.
Tropical storm Anna swept nearby during the same period. Are these events connected? I have no doubt. But the mystical events of the Bermuda Triangle are most certainly not always without witnesses. Along with more than 900 dead, there have been 19 survivors. I think most of them will not be able to tell us much of anything. Too much time has passed.
Yes, Chris?
How do you have survivors among the dead? Are
It's the
these
undead.
then?
Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, no,
They
he
got
said
better.
along with 900 dead, they have 19 survivors. Was his exact phrasing.
Okay.
I see. Purple?
Well, the one undeniable fact about the Bermuda Triangle is that it has caused all of the evidence to disappear.
Yes. Mhm.
That's true.
It's an intelligent area.
Yeah. How convenient.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have that happen to keep the conspiracy going.
Oh, of course.
Or, you know, the Bermuda Triangle could be a place where hurricanes form because, oh gee, the water there gets warm right about the time that things start disappearing. Who'd have fucking thought?
Yeah. Shocker, I know. Well,
Killjoy.
let's see what else we got here.
But there's at least one person in the world who's ready to share information about this mysterious place. And this person is not just a theorist. He experienced abnormal activity himself and managed to survive. His
Picture
name
it
is
happen.
Bruce Gernon. On December 4th, 1970, Bruce, along with his father and his business partner, took off from the island of Andros, heading for Miami Beach. It wasn't his first time making this flight, and everything went as usual. The trip should have taken about an hour and a half. Bruce was piloting a Beechcraft Bonanza light engine aircraft. Immediately after takeoff, he noticed a small cloud. The plane rose to an altitude of about 300 meters, or about 1,000 feet, and the
So I have to call drink here, because I just did a quick Google search for this guy as well. You know, just quick searches, nothing in depth here. There's an IMDb page for this guy, Bruce Gernon, and he's known for his work on Expedition Unknown, the Alaska Triangle, and Ancient Aliens.
The
I
trifecta.
mean, what can you say? The guy likes triangles.
So
Yeah.
I'm not so sure how reliable his testimony is here.
What does it say about his marriage?
I don't know.
Well, that. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, that, and I keep thinking Bruce Campbell, not Bruce Gernon. So, you know,
No, Bruce Campbell was a comedian, isn't he?
yes.
Yeah, no, not
Chris
him.
Kelling, I just want you to know that I think your joke there was groovy.
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't sound like the most reliable source to be, telling us about things happening in the Bermuda Triangle. Just saying. All right, here we go.
Okay, it's a nitpick, but I have one question for Tornado. If you insist on pictures or it didn't happen, does that mean there was no history before the camera was invented?
It's an expression.
I know, I'm sorry.
Also, yes, there was no history before cameras were invented. Literally nothing happened.
All right, here we go.
cloud also rose with them. It grew literally before their eyes, but the aircraft managed to slip through it. After 10 minutes had passed, and at an altitude of 3,505 meters, or about 11,500 feet, another cloud appeared. It was so large that Bruce again had no choice but to fly directly into it. Everything around immediately turned black, although there was no rain. The pilot noted strange white flashes that were not like lightning. They were so bright that they lit up everything. After about half an hour, Bruce suddenly realized that this was the same cloud through which they'd flown earlier. It had the shape of a ring, a kind of giant donut-shaped cloud. Bruce saw no way to escape from the captivity of this strange cloud when suddenly he noticed a small clearance. This was his only chance. The hole looked like a tunnel just over 1.5 kilometers or 1 mile wide and about 16.
Yes, Jenny?
He's pretty much describing a hurricane now there, isn't he?
Yeah. Sounds an awful lot like it.
Yeah, I was
One
going to
forming.
say, this goes right with what Tornado was saying about hurricanes forming there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, or it could also be a really fast developing thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Well,
Because-
But the aliens at the bottom of the ocean there that
Only come up when the planes come out.
Mary Elizabeth Mastriano discovered, along with Ed Neal. I mean, come on.
They gave the date of this occurrence in the beginning. Couldn't we compare that to some USG or NOAA information about what hurricanes were happening in 1970 or whatever?
Yeah, when did this happen? Did he give an exact date, or was it just 1970?
I don't remember. Let's see. Oh, nope, that's height.
Well, what do you know? I'm seeing several things here that are
Nope.
going right through where the Bermuda Triangle would be.
December 4th, 1970,
That's the date of this storm?
apparently.
Well, that's toward the end of the hurricane season, but it's still in it.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually after there, but...
Yeah,
looking-
hurricane season ends November 30th, but give or
Yeah,
take a week or two.
It was probably a storm then. Just an average bog standard storm.
Well, no, it could have been a hurricane, but it,
Yeah. Well,
But-
and what he was saying about the flashes of light sound very much like, cloud to cloud lightning.
yeah,
Well, and he's describing the eye of a hurricane.
yeah,
I came to this clearing for a mile and a half.
yeah,
That sounds like hurricane eye.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hurricane eyes are usually bigger than that.
Not
I
necessarily.
mean, you're also assuming that this guy's testimony is entirely accurate to every detail, as opposed to
Yeah.
him just being disoriented and in a big cloud.
Yeah.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 ding. Yeah, what's his IFR rating?
Yeah, exactly. This would be taking him at his most serious, but there's also the fact that it could very well be just a storm that popped up between there and then.
And he started panicking.
Yeah.
That is very possible.
It's true. All right. Let me see. All right. Well, let us continue on then, shall we?
Sure.
The tunnel sharply narrowed. The walls of the tunnel were curved and shrinking, continuously closing in. The whole of the interior was covered with small gray threads of clouds that spun counterclockwise right in front of and around the aircraft. The navigation instruments malfunctioned, spinning maniacally in the glass dials. Fortunately,
drink?
Bruce managed to break out.
Yes, tornado.
Okay, so now we have rotating clouds. Damn it, shut up,
Hurricane.
internet. Yeah, well, he said they were rotating counterclockwise in front of and around the aircraft. And they were sort of rotating in the tunnel-like fashion. Which says to me there might actually be something different than this. It might actually be a rotating thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to mention something about gauges. Most gauges have this little thing called a needle stop, which is a little peg that kind of sits in the path of the rotation to stop the needle from spinning around.
Yeah.
Gauges don't spin around. That's Hollywood.
Yeah. I feel like he's more familiar with Hollywood than with actual instrumentation.
Yeah.
In other words, he's lying.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, could be.
And the gentleman was just trying to make up a thrilling story for being in the Bermuda Triangle. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's get to the part where he finds the aliens.
Oh, I'm sure
Now
that's
that's
coming, don't
absurd.
worry.
Who would make up a thrilling story about their brush with death?
Yes.
Well, I mean, come on. I gotta believe that the Fantastic Journey was based in reality. I mean, come on.
Let's continue on and see what we got.
Whose reality?
of this strange captivity. About 20 seconds passed, but at that moment, no one cared. The plane was enveloped in a strange fog. The pilot immediately contacted ground control to determine their location, but the dispatcher could not see the aircraft on radar. Is this possible? Theoretically, yes. Interference can affect radar instruments. But what happened next scared everyone, including Bruce himself. The dispatcher suddenly announced that the plane was already in the sky over Miami. Let me remind you, this flight usually takes about 75 minutes, but only 47 minutes had passed, a little more than half the time. Bruce's plane couldn't have accelerated to such a speed. The design of the aircraft simply didn't allow for such a thing. Gradually, the fog cleared and the pilot saw that he really was above Miami. Returning to the ground, Bruce checked.
Yes, Tornado?
You know what's also possible? He was so spooked about flying through a series of thunderstorms that his sense of time was messed up.
Yep.
Now, how could that ever possibly be?
And
see what he says
another
about
thing.
the fuel here, because the fuel burn would be a sure indication of how long they've been in the air.
There's also another thing to account for: tailwinds.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about. And in a more general sense, I don't know, because I'm not a pilot, I don't know anything about this stuff, but if the plane was just carried along in the center of the hurricane, could that have actually given them a faster travel time than they would have otherwise had?
Again, this is all of this is assuming that the time is actually what he reported.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, but a tailwind. Tailwinds can increase how quickly you get somewhere. They can speed you up. With a headwind, it can delay you. That is the whole thing with flight that can change and delay things or have them arrive early. So it is entirely possible with the storm that they're talking about that they had a tailwind and it got them there quicker.
There's a couple things going on here. First of all, the
hello.
Okay. First of all, the winds of a hurricane would be buffeting the plane pretty bad. Two, tailwind in that direction wouldn't be prevalent. You'd be hitting the headwind more than a tailwind. And at that altitude, it would be effective, but not to the extent of increasing your or decreasing your flight time by a few over half an hour. Now the thing that they're going to mention next about the fuel burn, because your fuel is burned at a specific rate for a certain amount of power on your power setting on your engine. If you didn't change the rate of or the power on the engine, then the fuel burn is going to be consistent. So if they're going to end up with more fuel than expected, then it means yes, they had something strange going on out there where they were going a lot faster than it'd be more along the lines of what the engine can produce enough thrust. It wouldn't be a matter of the design of the aircraft itself. Yeah, but anyhow.
Aha. If you say so, Chris.
Yeah.
We also, Tornado, your hand was still up. Did you have something to add?
Well, there is also the Azores Bermuda High, which can really cause a potential tailwind.
Yeah, but it's not going to be it may shave 10 15 minutes off of it.
Yeah,
not
I'm
half
still
an
going
hour.
with the whole he was spooked and thus time passed faster.
I'm
for
going
him.
with the guy. I'm going with the fact that the guy was just outright telling a story.
Right.
Well, I've heard that some good Bermuda weed produces quite a high.
Mhm.
Amen. It is.
Yeah. Kitsumi Cavalier had a comment in the side chat that I thought was interesting. Was that doesn't the altimeter actually work based on air pressure? So if you were in the eye of a hurricane, wouldn't that be an area of low air pressure, and that might cause the dial to, kind of spin suddenly, showing you're at a much higher altitude than you would actually be at?
Well, it may, but an altimeter works because the pilot sets it at the point of takeoff to zero, so that whatever the air pressure was at the airport that you launch from is the baseline, and then as you go higher, there's
a scale
it's
inside the.
it's relative to that.
Yeah, but if you're in
There's
the
a
eye of a
scale-
storm, isn't that going to, that could potentially change the air pressure rather suddenly?
Probably not.
Okay. Again, I don't know about these things. I just thought that was a comment
there
worth
are
addressing.
such thing as bomb cyclones.
Yeah. Now the way the altimeter works is there's a dial inside the base of the altimeter that has the pressure, local pressure, and usually what you do is you set that at, let's say you listen to ATIS, which is an automated information system that gives you what the current barometric pressure is at the airport and stuff like that. And you can set your altimeter for that, so you have the proper altitude, and you're not going to miss the runway, or you're not going to crash into the ground. But he didn't mention any kind of a shift in his altimeter, and probably wouldn't really notice it so much. It may.
Well, he just said the gauge is spun, and that was a pretty vague thing.
Right.
Yeah. And what gauge is spun?
None of the gauges spun.
Okay, but
the directional gyro spin? Did the magnetic compass spin? Did the whatever? So.
But you are saying it's based on
Remember also, this is 1970. The technology was pretty crude.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, you had a lot more analog stuff, not so much digital.
And
Right.
and private planes like the Bonanza are not required to have almost any gauges whatsoever. I don't even know if artificial horizons, I don't think were standard or required.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
there's a whole bunch of unknown.
Well, you did say that that the altimeter is based on the barometric pressure, but he was flying into the U.S. where the bears would be using imperial units.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all set to. I mean, it's a standard. When you're dealing with aircraft,
Okay, whoosh.
altitude and stuff like that, it's all going to be imperial. It's going to be done in feet. It's going to be done in millibars.
Yeah, that was just a swing and a miss on the joke. That's all.
Okay.
All right. Well, shall we continue on?
And not interrupt for a while? This is really terrible video.
It is. We shall see how long we get. How far we get? I don't know. Whatever. That.
The amount of fuel used and the clock, everything looked as if the plane had suddenly teleported from one point in space to another by itself without the help of engines, as if the plane had gone through a portal. I agree, this all sounds completely unbelievable. However, the news of the strange journey quickly spread through the media, and later Bruce even published a book regarding his theory of what had happened on that fateful day. In his opinion, the electrically charged fog surrounding the plane was to blame for everything. Professor David Pears agrees with Bruce. The fog formed between 2 areas of lower and 2 areas of higher pressure over Florida. Usually, such zones create powerful thunderstorms, but it's not due to just this alone. The ionized air, which creates that eerie fog, also disabled the compass, according to the professor. But what about the appearance of the aircraft having somehow moved in space? This apparently can be explained by dark energy. This form of energy existed
Oh
so
my
far only
God.
in
Yes.
All this
tornado.
time,
Wow.
all this time, astronomers have been looking at dark energy out in the universe. Little did they know it was in Tampa.
Let's go to Tornado first, who had the drink call first.
And like that, you jumped the shark.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta
Um,
agree on that.
Yeah, this. I went from officially thinking, this could have happened, to officially thinking, yep, La La Land. This is a story. This is entirely a story, and
yeah.
because of that, I don't buy this one iota, not even a second.
The dark energy made this whole thing with it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, we just went to woo territory.
As
I
Wolfgang
really
Pauli
hope-
once said,
I really hope after this he explains what he thinks dark energy is and what he thinks it does, because dark energy is just the word we give to the stuff that's powering the accelerated expansion of the universe.
Well,
So
better.
how exactly he's going to tie that to a plane apparently moving slightly faster than it should
that's
is
easy.
really going to be a bit of a fucking stretch, I think.
A little bit.
Hello, I have an answer for that. It's aliens.
You should have just said that earlier.
Yeah, it's aliens. Mhm.
Well, he did say something about being a portal, like the plane was teleported.
Right.
I don't care what he said about it being a portal. It's bullshit.
Well, yes.
Yeah, now I see Megatron ordering the Seekers into the Bermuda Triangle to retrieve the dark energy.
Oh, dear.
I must have that energon.
Yeah. Well,
Fucking Starscream.
Can we proceed, please?
yeah, I think we can, I suppose.
theory is responsible for the accelerated expansion of the universe. Some researchers believe that dark energy can be used to create a special engine, allowing us to travel huge distances in fractions of a second.
Huh.
Just like with Bruce's plane. This
Drink.
is a very complex hypothesis,
No
which
drink.
No.
involves something like a curvature bubble that alters space and time. Generally speaking, to be kind, this is difficult to prove, at least for anything in the near given future. A much more interesting question is where the dark energy could have come from above the Bermuda Triangle. Any ideas? Of course, if you want, you can always come up with some explanation. And many mysterious disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle certainly have completely non-mysterious explanations. For example, ships and planes can fall victim to storms. Some eyewitness accounts are fictitious. Some details are embellished. Also, according to some, the number of ships and planes missing in the area is no more and no less than any other part of the world ocean. Statistically speaking, of course. But still, in the Bermuda Triangle, there is something strange, something fascinating, and something inexplicable. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Click on the bell to receive notifications of new interesting videos that are waiting
I
for
don't know
you
why
ahead.
would.
Click on the bell for new episodes of bullshit.
Yeah. Oh dear. So that was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word, but go ahead.
Without taking a breath, he said that surely a lot of these things have mundane explanations, and that there really aren't any more disappearances here than in any other part of the ocean, and went right on to say that still there's something strange about the Bermuda Triangle. So he debunked himself and then jumped back to the Wu claim again.
Right.
Yes.
Mental gymnastics for the win. And the first prize award for mental gymnastics goes to...
Yeah.
Whatever
Well,
his name
this-
was.
Let's
Tell you the
delete
truth,
that one.
this reminds me of the stories that go into Hustler, or about the dark web and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Well, it just baffles me that this is the type of thing that's going on a channel with, like, I think like millions of subscribers,
Considering
Well,
this is the same guy that said if you nuke the Mariana Trench, you could destroy the Earth.
it is. I don't know.
Yes, he actually
Wait,
said
he
if
said
you
that?
nuke the
Yeah, he
Mariana
said
Trench.
Yeah.
It'd be a really fucking big nuke, but I guess.
Yeah.
I think he watched Superman too many times. So.
That's possible. Alright. So, let's see here. Alright, what do you guys think? Do we have time for one more? Or should we wrap it up for the
No.
evening?
I think we should wrap.
We have time for dinosaurs.
That's just
That is true.
There's
Purple
always
has
time for
been wanting
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs for a while. Let me see how long that one is. Yeah, that one's a little lengthy, but we could probably get through it.
okay. Well,
That's
I
the
expect
spirit.
it'll just be a lot of blurry pictures that we can laugh at.
Yeah, really.
all right. Fine.
Yeah, Purple wanted dinosaurs last week too, and we didn't get it. So we'll do
do you
we'll do
mind if-
dinosaurs.
Out of curiosity, what exactly about the dinosaurs?
Oh, yes, you weren't here for the introductions of the videos. Sorry.
10 pictures of dinosaurs, real life.
10 dinosaurs caught on camera in real life.
Yeah.
Did this person go to some sort of archaeological dig?
I can point out 10 dinosaurs, go to
I-
different parts of the Everglades and take pictures of
Yeah.
alligators.
I expect that we're not going to get some real dinosaurs here, but you never know. You can't say never, I suppose. All right, let me bring up.
Hey.
That's
Have
people
you
in
ever seen
scuba
Land
gear.
of the Lost? I mean,
Alright.
come on.
They're
Well-
in scuba gear.
Anyway, here we go. Let's get started, shall we? We
Yeah.
shall.
Like and
And for the
subscribe
record,
right now,
alligators
or
are
you're
not
going to have
descended
terrible
from
luck for the
dinosaurs.
next
They were
few
around
years.
before
The
dinosaurs.
existence
Yeah.
of dinosaurs
And birds
has long
were, though.
intrigued the world of science, as they were once the most successful species on the planet. Dinosaurs lived their time and were wiped from the
drink.
surface of the Earth by asteroid bombs.
Yes, Purple.
I can't let that go by. Dinosaurs were not a species, they were an entire class of animal. We have already identified over 160 separate species.
Yep.
There you go. Anyway,
Okay.
bombs worth billions at Hiroshima. Scientists believe that not one dinosaur could have survived the apocalypse millions of years ago, and we have their fossil to tell us their story. However, recent evidence has popped up to foil that notion, and a lot of questions have ensued from it. What if the surviving dinosaurs only got better at hiding when humans came around? Well, you are about to find out as we present 10 of the dinosaurs caught on camera in real life. Number 10.
A bird.
Velociraptor caught in the woods. You can't start a list of dinosaurs and skip cool ones like T-Rexes and Velociraptors. Not with the significant roles they played in Jurassic Park, that is. But it seems that these vicious monsters managed to survive a mass extinction, and the films may not be the only place you get to see them. Though the source of this video is unknown, it does claim to show a Velociraptor escaping into the woods. It's quite blurry at first, but when you zoom in, you'll surely see the magic.
wait.
It's so unbelievable. Because
It's quite blurry at first, but please let me zoom in and make it more blurry. What? I am so confused.
I feel like something which should be pointed out at the offset is the idea that there are some dinosaurs which have lived to today is not entirely incorrect, considering the fact that birds do exist. But the idea that certain more recognizable dinosaurs exist in the modern day without having undergone any evolution in millions of years is more than a little bit insulting, I think.
The
And I
thing is that
think
we
based-
don't have the environment that they lived in. So
Yep.
how would they?
I think based on that criteria of birds being dinosaurs, he was technically correct, because I believe what he saw there was a wild turkey.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as he zooms and enhances, we'll find out.
Yeah.
The truth will be laid bare.
All right. Well, let's see. I'm sure we'll get some truth here.
because we can't rationalize how a raptor survived for so long in that sparse bush. This plus many lots of reactions among critics online. While some say that the creature came from the forest nearby, where it fed on small unfortunate animals, others are more skeptical, claiming the video could have been the work of a smart editor, one who may probably be playing on our intelligence or perhaps trying to garner more views. Well, if that's the case, we say hats off to the mastermind behind this video. Indeed, he has won the hearts of 1 million believers and doubters alike. The clip looks pretty real and convincing.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it does, but not of a Velociraptor.
The Ohio pterosaur. When you look at the video, you'd see a bird flying around, soaring in all its majesty to entice any ordinary onlooker. We guess that's one of the first attractions which compelled the maker of this clip to document the scenery in the first place.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately,
Drink.
Yes,
That is.
I would have to say that was an RC plane.
Yeah, that's definitely something remote controlled. You can tell by the wing flaps it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one debunked before.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we covered this one with that
We
other
did.
guy. Yeah.
RC plane.
Yes, Purple.
Well, I just wanted to say after he zoomed in that I stand corrected. That was not a wild turkey. By the head crest, that was probably a pheasant.
That could be. Well, shall we continue on then?
Yeah.
Sure.
that bird is no ordinary one. We believe you know that already. At the very least, the bigness and the claws on the wings would have given it away. So, you should be thinking about a massive bat, shouldn't you? However, it can't be a bat, not without that pentadactyl. Even if it did, how do you explain the crest on its head? Only the pterosaurs are known with such characteristics. But they went extinct 66 million years ago, or that's what we believe. What if they never left? Well, we'll leave that one to you.
Those wing
Number
flaps
8.
are more realistic than that
The
one.
Mokele Mbembe. At some point, you must have wondered the possibility of a myth
plesiosaur.
becoming true someday. Just take brief research into Ogopogo and the legend of the Leviathan. You'll see that they all have a basis on something in reality. Look at the Kraken, for example. The existence of a giant squid inspired it. The Mokele Mbembe is no different. But the good news, we have its basis caught on camera. Initially hard to find, this picture, which looks out of focus, is one of the very few you can trace to the profile of the Mokele Mbembe.
Which looks out of
That
focus.
monster
That's
with
'cause it is
long
out of
beaten
focus.
neck and down-
Yes, Tornado.
That looks like a clearer version of the, quote, Loch Ness Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? I think that photo was, interestingly enough, not real. Or at least it was some sort of creation.
You know, I will say quite a number of years ago, I've been to Loch Ness, and I must say, it's actually quite rude. He's quite, it's really hurting his feelings to keep being called a monster. He's really not doing anything that monstrous. He's just sort of vibing.
Wait, no. It's a she,
That
and
is
her name is
screaming
Nessie.
Oh dear.
No, but that's just it. It's a boy, but it's a girl's name, and he's kind of self-conscious about it.
Well, yeah, some of them
Yeah,
are more
like the boy
sensitive
named
than others. You know, Bigfoot is often mistaken for Sasquatch, yet he never lets it bother him.
Oh my goodness, Purple.
Where's the Boggy Creek monster coming?
Yeti.
Play?
Let's proceed.
Anyway, with those poor jokes, let's continue on, shall we?
with a weight at least twice that of a hippopotamus. If the details
That
are accurate,
is probably
the
a
Mokele
python.
Mbembe must surely be a dinosaur. Perhaps a kind of sauropod in the family of dinosaurs with 4 legs. Believed to inhabit the Congo Basin, the Mokele is a swimmer that lives in caves and a killer that eats leaves. Yeah, we know. A few blurry portrayals and videos of test
Okay,
is not
drink.
enough to convince us.
Yes, Purple.
I'm sorry, just his obvious lack of information about dinosaurs and prehistoric reptiles. That is obviously not a sauropod, it's a plesiosaur, which isn't even a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
science
Look, just
world.
because your relatives are dinosaurs doesn't mean you know all this stuff.
No, not at all.
This turns out to be real, then what next? Number 7. The Zoyomaru carcass. The Zoyomaru was a Japanese fishing vessel in the 90s whose crew took an interest in the waters of New Zealand, and everything was normal for them until April 15th, 1997. That day when the fishermen aboard caught something which aroused the attention of the science community. The crew was reportedly on business 3 miles off the coast when their nets trapped the rotten carcass of a weird-looking sea animal. As described, the large dead body measured about 33 feet from its nose to the tail. That plus many other physical similarities brought the idea that it might be a severely decayed plesiosaur.
God
Since we couldn't
damn
say
it,
exactly
Drake!
which type of fish it was.
Can
Stop
we
yelling.
not scream?
Yeah, no yelling, and yes, tornado.
That is not a plesiosaur. That is a basking shark.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew they had to have this one in here there somewhere.
Yeah,
And Tornado is right. It has been identified as a decomposed basking shark.
yeah. Wouldn't be part of dinosaurs though without it.
Moving
In
on.
fact, this same image has been used by Kent Hovind to say dinosaurs live with humans. Therefore, the Bible is true, and you should repent, and otherwise you'll go to hell.
Yes, well,
So, I still want to know where the Bible mentions dinosaurs.
it doesn't.
All right, well, let's continue on.
They took a picture and a few portions of it to the lab. After much controversy, some biochemical facts revealed that the creature was likely some kind of a frilled shark. Maybe it was their imagination that fooled us, or probably the scientists were mistaken. After all, we don't have a tissue from the ancient plesiosaurs to compare, so we can't rule out the possibility of a historical animal. Number 6.
Drink.
Yes, purple.
Maybe it was their imagination that fooled us, or maybe the scientists were mistaken. Okay, wait, which of those two seems the more likely explanation?
It can't possibly the one that seems most likely.
Yeah, of course, the one that has evidence behind it is the one that's immediately dismissed.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at these baby Brachiosaurus here.
Oh, how cute!
I know, right? Aren't they cute? I just want to pet it. All right, here we go.
But before we start this,
Yes.
these sure look like a bunch of monkeys who are going to be shown walking backwards because they reversed the film. Go ahead.
Yeah. I might agree with you, but let's
Jenny,
take a
you
look.
spoiled it.
Baby Brachiosaurus on the street. Sometime last year, this video of baby dinosaurs crossing the street became viral on social media.
Yep.
Aren't those literally some sort of it's not an anteater, but it's something in that family?
It's
Yes.
a monkey.
It's a monkey.
Comondi or
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
They're
You
monkeys.
can tell the footage is played in reverse.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue.
Everyone who saw it was astonished by the surprising discovery. We bet you'd have fallen in love with
Hence
them.
the car
See the
backing
car
up.
backing up.
If we are right, they surely resemble miniaturized Brachiosaurs, or more specifically look
Yeah.
like Savanosaurus, a species of plant-eating long-necked dinosaurs whose fossils were native to Australia. However,
Why are
don't get
you
excited.
That's why the
yet.
person's
There are
backing
too many
up.
things wrong with the video, and you don't have to be a skeptic to find fault in this one. Other than the fact that we don't know how this recording came into circulation, the animals depicted here cannot in any way be dinosaurs. Even though the video made sure of that, you just need to get your hands on the original copy and watch for a bit longer, or you can try playing the clip backward. Then you'll see that the animals in the video were actually some kind of ferret. The video was only manipulated to suit our fantasy, one that clearly worked thanks to the vivid picture we all have from Jurassic Park. Number 5.
No, it didn't. Drink.
The lone dinosaur under the bridge.
Yes, tornado.
It did not suit our fantasy thanks to Jurassic Park. We, the
Yeah.
skeptics over here, knew immediately what it was.
Yes. Moving on.
Well, I mean, I'm curious about the lone dinosaur under the bridge here. I think we're gonna get something.
Yeah.
It's under a
But
bridge.
that's-
It's obviously a troll. It's not a
I was
dinosaur.
going to say that.
Exactly.
Thank you, Purple.
It's the biggest troll of them all. All right.
Yes.
Here we go.
Who goes
He's
on
an
my
internet
bridge?
troll.
Ridge. This picture was taken along the road somewhere unknown, and it caught our attention among those presented as actual proof of dinosaurs spotted on camera. In
It's
the
an awful
picture,
small
you can see a
shadow.
T-Rex almost smiling at the camera, like a premeditated event.
If that's a T-Rex, can I just say that's an awfully tiny T-Rex?
Yeah,
it
and
would be a baby.
Also, the shadow isn't right.
Yeah, the shadow is way too damn small
Yeah.
for one.
There's nothing about that isn't a troll under the bridge.
Yeah,
The legs.
the color
Legs
of
are all weird.
Yeah.
the color of it. T-Rexes weren't black, and that thing's clearly out in the sunlight.
Mark Beiser says it is a
No,
T-Rex, a
there's
tiny
no
Rex.
sunlight there. That's a cloudy day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say this is an edited photo.
I would
Yes.
assume so.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to get it on and bang the gong.
Yeah,
Although the
no.
correct word is manipulated.
Yeah.
Yes, moving on.
Here we go.
Of the sort. It looks too real, and that's the problem. Possibly, it's just another one of those animated images created to spice attention. Number 4. T-Rex on London Street. Just imagine going off to work one morning and you saw a giant
God.
dinosaur on the road. Your next reaction would be to run for dear life, wouldn't it? It's even going to be much worse if you're a fan of Jurassic movies. Like that was the spirit on the streets of London in June 2015 when the road users saw this bizarre sight of a wounded Tyrannosaurus Rex. Though the tension might reduce when you realize
Yes, Tornado.
When you realize it didn't even look real.
Well, let him finish.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to look any more real by the time it
Yeah,
finishes.
it looks
but-
like he's doing some debunking himself here.
It looks like
Yeah.
a film prop. It's probably a film prop.
that it was bleeding and all tied down. Nonetheless, it's still a dinosaur. This 45-foot-long monster that got many people looking and taking pictures was artificially made. It was the
No.
world's first replica of a T-Rex with its full anatomy intact. Even the blood was fake. The pioneer paleontologist, Dr. Tony Harridge, who helped in the design, remarked that the life-size copy was built to inspire appreciation of the historic killer in beginners. Despite being made of plastic, it was so lifelike that many thought they'd seen the real thing. Number 3. The Champ in Lake Champlain. For over a century now, Lake Champlain has been the home to mysterious sightings of a sea monster. The body of fresh water that stretches 125 miles between New York and Vermont was said to harbor a plesiosaur-like creature whose fans have affectionately dubbed the Champ. If we didn't lose count, reports said there were nearly over 300 different encounters, many of which confirm that an estimated 20-foot-long beast dwells within the lake. But there's been no concrete proof until 2005, when a fisherman named Duck Affelter and his stepson, Pete Bodditt, caught the elusive animal on a digital recording. Due to the quality of the video, we can't say with certainty what lurked beneath the water, but a closer analysis of the creature revealed its long neck and a turtle-like body with flaps. This description matched the previous ones that witnesses have given about the Champ. Just to add a little to the authenticity of the video, 2 retired FBI forensic analysts confirmed that the video was not manipulated in any way. Champ was indeed caught on camera. Whether it's a dinosaur or a whale, we don't know. It could as well be a native answer to the Loch Ness Monster. Now it's time for today's best pick. This one might just be evidence that the kings of monsters are back.
Purple.
Anticipate otherwise.
Purple, what are you doing walking out on the street?
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that was on the thumbnail. That's why I had to pick this one.
Yeah.
That's so bad, it's not even funny. The shadows aren't even right.
Yeah. It's perfect, Tornado. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
Press-
there's actually one standing in front of a gas station halfway between here and where I pick up Soft Girl's son.
You
that
know,
I have to keep telling people I had nothing to do with the fact that I got painted orange.
That's
I
funny.
see King Kong every time I go to my mother's house.
There you go.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
If you think that that's a real Triceratops on a real street, then I've got a bridge to sell you.
Is there a T-Rex living under it?
Well, not to
jeez.
mention that that's like a Triceratops model from the 1970s and
Yeah.
doesn't show any of the updates in the anatomy that have been done since then.
No. Well, let's see. I'm sure he's going to describe it oh so well.
If not, we might be looking at another Jurassic Park here. Number 2. Altsy, the Georgian Plesiosaur. Take a glimpse at this video of a strange animal that got washed ashore. The creature was supposedly found on the coast of a wildlife refuge
That's
in
not a
southeastern Georgia.
plesiosaur.
At first, the discoverers thought that the sea animal was a dead seal, but a closer look proved to them that it was no seal at all. It looked nothing like a fish, neither did it resemble a turtle. Their best guess, it was a Plesiosaurus. Well, as
Drink.
expected, non-believers among the experts
Yes, Tornado.
It's likely another basking shark.
Probably.
Yeah, something similar. Okay, moving on.
Also note that there's nothing to give you any idea of scale. This thing
Yeah.
could have only been about 6 inches long.
Mm.
And on top of that, I'm not even sure if the shadows are right.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on, shall we?
claimed that it was a decaying basking shark or perhaps a snake eel. A conclusion they assumed owing to the surprising forms that fish take during a decomposition process. Others remarked that it was a well-doctored hoax of the popular Georgian monster called Altsy. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds. It actually on David Haynes. Number 1. Tyrannosaur on night vision. Uploaded initially on David Haynes' Real Paranormal Videos, this clip does
Holy
claim to show
shit.
a dinosaur walking in the rain at night. You don't have to take much time to realize that it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Although
Drink.
the video does look real and
Yes, Tornado.
That video doesn't look real at all.
No.
No, the
Yeah.
motion looks very cartoonish.
Yeah. Well, let's let him explain here.
enough. It's tough to tell if this video was genuine. It could be a typical raining background in an unknown forest where an experienced video geek could have easily superimposed the animation of a T-Rex. But then again, it could be the real thing. We believe that dinosaurs have long gone, though we are open to any proof of their aliveness. Just drop your view in the comments section down below. And remember
no,
to join us.
drink.
Not even a word.
Yeah.
All right, I think
Well, actually, there are living dinosaurs. They're called birds. And more importantly, all of the non-avian dinosaurs have not been found past the iridium boundary layer. That marks the end of the Cretaceous period and the beginning of the Paleogene.
Yeah.
No dinosaur fossils, except for birds, no non-avian dinosaur fossils have been found above that layer. At all. Full stop.
yes.
Yeah.
Take your advice. Take your own advice there, Tornado.
All right. Let's see. Well,
Well, and part of the problem they never addressed with cryptids is that one of these creatures would have to be millions of years old, or else there has to be a large enough colony of them to have a breeding population.
And
So
they would have been
probably there would
found.
have to be like 1,000 individuals hiding somewhere.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, 1,000 velociraptors are going to decimate a city.
But what if they went through the Bermuda Triangle?
Oh, that could be. They could have gone through the portal.
The army would kill them.
Oh.
They got
No,
rocked.
that's
and
only
stuff.
if they came out in Japan and then they started.
Oh my gosh.
Messing
attacking
with
them off
Godzilla.
Well, no, he may have something, that you have to preserve the balance. So for every ship or plane that disappears in the Bermuda Triangle, they have to transport one dinosaur over of equal mass.
Exchange.
Oh my goodness.
You're talking about equivalent exchange, okay?
Mhm.
Ah.
It's an alchemy
that-
thing, yes.
That is true. Every time a plane crashes in the Bermuda Triangle, a dinosaur lays an egg.
I know where you're going with it. It was sort of a
Yeah.
good joke there.
Every time a plane crashes, a pterosaur gets its wings.
Yeah, there we go. I like that.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
Yes, it is.
Sure. All right. Well, I think with that, we are going to wrap it up for this evening. We have some kitties for our ending picture tonight, just because kitties are
Okay.
cute.
Well, I know Willie. Who's the other one?
That's my Claire bear. Her name is Claire.
Aw.
And she's a pretty
The-
kitty.
The one-eyed kitty.
One-eyed kitty is Willie, and then the little girl kitty is Claire.
Yes, that pun is just terrible.
One-eyed Willie.
Mm-hmm.
Had to name him that. But that's my my pretty little girl cat. She's so tiny and petite and just very dainty. She's very girl-like.
I want to pet them.
Yep.
They will accept my pets through the screen.
They
Kitty,
probably
kitty, meow,
would.
meow.
Mm.
She is like, I am innocent. Whatever it is, he did it.
Always.
I miss my smudge.
They're the best kitties though. I love them.
Sad.
But they wanted to make an appearance, so their picture's there for tonight. So, with that, everybody, I do want to thank you all for coming out and showing up for another lovely episode of Mighty Night. And I think that's about all we've got. Do you guys have anything that you wanted to add?
I just want to say thank you, Purple, for insisting that we do the dinosaur one. That was a kind of a hoot.
Yeah.
And really, if you haven't watched The Princess Bride, why haven't
Watch
you?
it. It's
Yes.
hysterical.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
Jinzu was carrying on with the things that birds are dinosaurs, so the T-Rex could have mated with hummingbirds.
There you go. I think that's definitely plausible.
Oh yeah.
I'm a doorknob headed out in the audience.
I don't think so.
Did not see him tonight.
But just keep an eye out on the channel tomorrow. Later today, I guess it is. May or may not be doing a special extra live stream for the 2-year anniversary here. So just
Like
we may or may not be
another
doing another
reminder.
live stream, but we'll take a look and I'll tweet it and stuff if we do. Just not sure what's going on yet with that. So we may or may not be back tomorrow or later, I guess. I don't know. But that's about all I
We'll
got.
see.
Yeah, that's about all I got for tonight. So thank you everybody for coming. Thank you in the panel, and thank you live chat. And with that, say goodnight, panel.
Good night, panel.
Good night, panel.
Good night, panel.
Ass hats.
See ya.